All right, so I want to go to you first, Chris. You obviously talked to Mitt Romney, but I want to start with the president. Is he being completely honest when he says he needs a Senate that's all Democrat or majority Democrat to get this done? Because he still has ink in his executive pen, right?
Well, yeah, and I think actually that's going to be one of the most interesting issues in the next month, because he is, and his White House has basically said he is going to, right after the election, midterms, he is going to issue an executive action. In this talk, there was a big story in the Wall Street Journal this weekend that he might take action that would delay deportation, in effect, give a permanent path not to citizenship but legalization to up to 4 million people. I promise you, if he does that, if he by executive action goes against Congress and legalizes 4 million people who are in this country illegally, there is going to be a firestorm on Capitol Hill. You're going to see calls for impeachment. I don't mean that necessarily they'll do it, but there'll be calls for it. You're going to see lawsuits. There's going to be howling that he has overstepped his executive authority. It's going to be a big deal.
You know, it's interesting. I visited PewHispanic.org, and they've got Pew Research on their website that talks about the 25.2 million Hispanic voters in this country, Latino voters. That is the biggest number ever that we've seen. And we're seeing percentage-wise, Jedediah, some of those people say that, oh gosh, this administration is ignoring what we really need, and some of what Chris is talking about.
It's an opportunity for Republicans for sure, but Republicans have been talking about border security first, and Democrats have been deaf on that issue. Republicans are saying, look, many of them, we don't want a comprehensive bill. We want to do this in a piecemeal fashion because we don't believe a comprehensive approach is the right approach, and also we're not going to have these conversations unless you secure the border, because we've had so many border security issues that are not being tended to. So I think to put this on Republicans is a big joke when they've been coming back and saying, yes, we will work with you, but border security can and should be a priority, and Americans are behind Republican politicians on that point.
Andrea, if what Chris described, though, happens, how will it get? How much more divisive can you see it getting in Washington?
It can get worse. I think that's the reason why President Obama didn't do it before the elections. I mean, the footage of these illegal children pouring over the border and the president saying he would use his pen to get it done did not poll very well. So against his wishes, he waited. This can absolutely get worse. I don't necessarily agree with Mitt Romney. I think Republicans are also very deeply divided on how to get to the finish line on immigration reform. We saw that with some senators, Marco Rubio taking one tack, Rand Paul taking another. Very differing views, but if I were Republicans, I would get together, get on the same page, pass a border security bill, send it to the president's desk alone, and put him on his heels, make him veto that.
But what matters the most, Harris, one day before elections is what voters think, and more voters are showing that they believe Republicans are better equipped to deal with the problems of immigration.
Even in the Latino community, you know, that they're very closely aligned who can really solve the problem.
But I think we're letting Republicans off the hook here, and one of the reasons that they're not going to pay a price for this is because in the key battleground states, Hispanics are not a very large voting bloc. They just aren't in a lot of these states. Only one that they are is in Colorado. You get to a presidential election, and this is the fastest growing voter bloc in America. If you don't somehow get Hispanics on your side, if you end up losing by 44 points, as Romney did to Obama in 2012, you might not get a Republican president.
Again, 25.2 million, and right now they live mostly in non-contentious states with regard to this election, but that's a lot of people.